As you know, ladies give back, and this year we have partnered with Children's Hospital Los Angeles, Make March Matter. It's a special month-long fundraising campaign that takes place right in our neighborhood to support Children's Hospital Los Angeles, which is a nonprofit pediatric hospital that's ranked among the top 5 in the nation. More children receive care from Children's Hospital LA than anywhere else in our region, and we need to help them make sure they can provide all their patients with the same world-class medical care. That is why for the entire month of March, the LadyGang is raising awareness by donating 20% of our proceeds from our store to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. So visit shop.theladygang.com to give back. And we have some super cute items that are up to 60% off right now in our warehouse sale. And so make March matter with us. Thank you. LadyGang is brought to you by Progressive. Progressive helps you get a great rate on car insurance, even if it's not with them. They have this nifty comparison tool that puts rates side by side. So you choose the coverage and the rate that works for you. So this is really cool. If you're interested in lowering, say, your rate on your car insurance, you visit progressive.com, you get a quote with all the coverages you want, and you'll get to see Progressive's rate. And then their tool will provide the options from the other companies all lined up, easy to compare. So all you have to do is choose the rate and the coverages you like. Progressive gives you options so that you can make the best choice for you. You could be looking forward to saving money in the very near future. More money for, say, a pair of noise-canceling headphones, an Instapot, more puzzles, something from theladygang.com, whatever brings you joy. So get a quote today at progressive.com. It's one small step that you can do today that could make a big impact on your budget tomorrow. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. This episode of LadyGang is brought to you by our friends at Olive & June. We love their at-home mani systems. They work so well. And for right now, you can go to oliveandjune.com/lady for 20% off your first mani system. The colors are amazing. The whole system is the bomb. Go to oliveandjune.com/lady for 20% off.
Well, what is this?
Welcome to the Lady Gang.
That's amazing. Say that again.
The Lady Gang.
Things are about to change around here.
Each week, we catch up with Hollywood's hottest girl posse, Kelty Knight, Becca Tobin, and Jack Vanek.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the LadyGang podcast. As you can see, we are currently on maternity leave. That's right. Becca Tobin is now a mother, and we have exciting guest hosts until she comes back to us. Jack and I are together here at LadyGang headquarters, flying the plane, doing a terrible job. It feels weird to do the introduction without Becca, but I'm Kelty Knight. This is Jack Vanek, and we're very excited because our guest host today is none other than one of our favorite freaking people on the planet who has a brand new book, which is out today. Danny Pellegrino is here. Today is March 8th. The book is out today. Go buy this book. Support this man. Let's get him on the top of the New York Times bestselling list. I know you guys can because you did it for us.
I love you both, and I love your book, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited to talk to you. I love the Lady Gangers, and I'm honored to be here. So I'm excited.
We love you. Can I ask you, can you give like a summary of what your book is for all of our listeners?
Yeah, it's my version of a David Sedaris book. It's a collection of stories that are cringy, awkward, loaded with pop culture references. It is, hopefully it will make you laugh. And then there's a couple little dramatic stories in there too, but hopefully you can pick it up. You can laugh. You can take it on your spring break, enjoy the stories and laugh and enjoy the nostalgia, the pop culture, the Midwest goodness that comes through. So that's sort of the elevator pitch.
And they're all true stories.
They're all unfortunately true stories. Yes, there are.
Oh my God, I love this. All right, we're going to get to the book a little later in the show, but right now it's time for...
Good week.
Yes, it is.
Bad week. Oh, no.
Okay, so my good week is no, it's not a good week by proxy. One of my friends was on a flight the other day. And you know, when you're on a flight, you're always kind of like looking at the person in front of you's phone just to see if there's like...
I don't do that at all. I only look at my own Instagram feed, but live your life. Okay, you're looking at other people's phones.
Everybody looks at the person in front of themselves, whatever, okay, grammatical, whatever, their phone, just to see if like maybe they're going through like a breakup, and if you can kind of like try to zoom in on like the texts or something dramatic's going on. So she texts me and she's like, well, I was doing the thing where I was looking at the phone in front of me, and the girl in front of her was stalking the LadyGang on Instagram.
Oh my God, I love that.
So
I love that.
You.
Caught in the act.
It was my friend Alexis, and she was just like She watched her go through all of the LadyGang's Instagram page, all of Kelty's, all of mine, all of Becca's, zooming in on pictures. Good thing we don't Photoshop anymore. So she can find something up. And I was like, you know, like when you do
I'm culturally relevant.
We're relevant. It's just funny because, like, especially when we're doing our podcast, we're in our little bubble and you don't really think it goes into the ether and nobody listens to it. So it's actually kind of validating to see that people are actually looking at your shit out in the wild.
Right.
And like Jack hates that suit that we made her wear and she hates that photo so much. So I love it. Like that's the one you got caught on is your Tom Ford suit that she was like, can I wear it like this? And just wanted
I asked to wear it open because it was too fucking small for me. So I was like popping out of it. So I'm like,
Jack, you look beautiful in it. I love it.
Oh my God.
I don't think LA Mag is going to put your tits in, but we'll okay. Bad week.
I'm just trying to have a low V all the time. My bad week is, give me a second, because now I forget what it was. I went to Atlanta recently for a friend's wedding with a group of friends, and we went early so we could like go out and about in Atlanta. It has like a fun bar scene and all that. So we're going out, we're like playing games, we're doing all the things I love. And I'm like, all I fucking want to do is go do karaoke. Like that was like my main goal of the night. So I looked up every single karaoke spot and we bounced all around to each spot and everything was closed. Not closed, but like wasn't doing karaoke, to the point where at the end of the night that I don't remember, my fiance and I got in a massive argument because I was mad at him that I couldn't find karaoke. So I was like screaming at him in the middle of the street being like, how dare you?
But wait, Jack, what did you want to sing? Like, what were you ready to perform?
Glad that you asked. I have a list.
Listen, I can't get Jack. I've tried, Danny, just so you know this woman. I've tried 100 different apps, programs to make a to-do list for LadyGang. Like we use this app that like I put the to-do list in an email Jack every morning. Like she hates a list. She will not do a list, but yet she has a fucking karaoke song list on her phone. I can't get this woman.
Priorities are straight.
Priorities are straight.
Jesus.
It's what I love.
This is heartbreaking.
Okay. Well, a classic karaoke song is Teenage Dirtbag. It's a crowd pleaser. Everybody loves it.
I don't know that song.
'Cause I'm just a teenage. Yes, you do. Dirtbag. It's like one of the most iconic songs from the 90s.
Yeah.
I have a terrible voice, so I have to like really lean into songs that like don't require you to have like a good singing voice.
Sure.
So, and I also love like alternative 90s songs. So I like Bare Naked Ladies One Week, Smash Mouth All Star, Eve Six.
These are some choices.
Out, 3 Doors Down, Kryptonite. The thong song's a great one.
3 Doors Down. Wait, can we back up to 3 Doors Down? I haven't heard 3 Doors Down, those 3 words together in about 10 years or so.
I don't even think that they probably have that available song at a karaoke place, but it's on my list nonetheless. So, but my story doesn't end there. So we didn't find karaoke the first night. So then the second night, I'm like, well, this is our night. I really did my research this time. And there's one place that has karaoke on Saturday nights in Atlanta.
Yep.
We get to this bar. It was a diner, but it was a bar. It was weird. We get there. There was a cheer competition in Atlanta, and there was hundreds of teenage girls in this place singing Katy Perry Roar. And I was like, this was my time. I finally found a spot, and it was full of fucking children. And
I'm shocked that the teens are doing a Roar, though. I feel like I would have thought the teens wouldn't even know what that song is.
I know. It's kind of dated for them. And they all were definitely under the age of 16 at a bar again. And I don't really realize how or why, but
it's so weird when you realize that Katy Perry is an elder.
She's an elder.
Whoa, I feel old.
I mean, I know Becca's not here with us today, but I remember on Glee when they did Roar, and it was like, that was a while ago. And so in my mind, you know, the youths don't know about Roar.
No, I know that
they should, but obviously they do a little.
It was like a vintage pick, you know?
Vintage. Oh my God.
Unfortunately. So
they were like, let's do an oldie. Let's do
Okay. Well, to celebrate you, Danny, because you're a social media icon, I know that like every celebrity follows you. Your shit is the funniest stuff that exists on the internet. My bad week is in honor of you. Twitter took away my verification.
Oh my God.
What? Why?
I don't know. I've been verified on Twitter for like since Twitter started, because when back in my news days, like the company would like get everyone verified because you were like putting out your stories and stuff. And I was really excited to get active on Twitter because I have a new show coming out, and Twitter is the only social media platform that affects the ratings, the Nielsen ratings. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna like get back and like start warming up my Twitter for the summer, you know?
Yeah.
And then I realized my check mark is fucking gone.
That's amazing. I didn't know that they rescinded check marks.
Me neither, but I got hacked really bad and they were selling like Xboxes on my
Okay,
my
so that's the reason why.
You think?
Yeah, for sure. Also, I think if you get like somebody probably reported you when that happened. And I think if you get like suspended or something, they take it away.
Yeah, I'm just a regular now.
That sucks. That's actually Kelty's like biggest nightmare.
40-year-old
they'll give it back,
unverified Twitter bitch.
Someone from Twitter is listening to this right now. We need Kelty to get re-verified.
It's all I have.
It is all she has.
Okay. Yeah. My bad week is kind of funny. So I was recently in Las Vegas for work, and one of the work perks of it was that I was like staying comped or whatever at this hotel. And they were like, you're welcome to go to our free breakfast up in the Prestige Lounge and in the morning. And I was like, awesome. So in the morning, Haley, who I took, my friend, we got up in the morning, we put our robes on. We're like, let's go get coffee. You know how you do that? And you're like, I'm part of the Prestige Club. So we walk up there, we're in our robes, and like every person coming by me is like in a cargo short, like very Vegas, like whatever. And I'm like on Instagram and I'm like, we went to go get coffee in our robes because it's like mornings in Vegas, like being super obnoxious. And then lady was like, you can't come in here.
Oh no.
I was a guest of the hotel. They're like, we don't allow robes in the Prestige Lounge. And so we got kicked out of the fucking lounge for wearing robes. We had to go back down and put our day clothes on. And I just thought, you know what?
You're trying to be fancy and you got kicked out.
Yeah. And the audacity of Vegas to have any rules or regulations when it comes to what people are wearing. I mean, if you walk around those casinos, what people are doing, it's crazy. Everyone's drunk. I got kicked out of a Shania Twain concert once in Vegas. And I was like, what are we doing here? Where I was having a good time. I had a couple vodka sodas, a handful of them, and I got kicked out.
How did you get kicked out of the
I was singing, you guys, I was so pissed because she was performing Man, I Feel Like a Woman. But you know, the Vegas concert scene is a little weird because a lot of times it's like people who just sort of stumble in the concert. Yes. Yeah. It's like wives who are like, come on, hun, we need to go get off of the gambling floor for a minute. So it's like a real buttoned up crowd. And I was there to see Shania Twain. And so of course, when that song comes on, you stand up and you go nuts. But somebody was complaining about me. I was like, the whole crowd should be standing up right now. Shania Twain's on stage singing Man, I Feel Like a Woman. Like, it's crazy.
Wait, you got kicked out for literally just being a fan?
Because I mean, I was standing in a place where everyone else was seated. And so I was standing up, like, of course, singing along.
Yeah. Because you think if I stand, everyone will stand.
Yeah. I thought like we should all be up right now. Like, this is insanity to me. The whole concert, we should be up. It's Shania Twain. Like, this isn't, I don't know. We're not here to see Josh Groban. Like, let's all stand up.
Josh Groban.
And enjoy it. Like, she's singing That Don't Impress Me Much. Like, I'm not sitting down for that.
No, she's not a sitting down act.
It's
in Vegas,
Danny, that you brought this up because I just saw Shania Twain like 2 weeks ago. And I was also in a sitting down area because my seats were kind of okay, but not great. You know, I wasn't in the super fan area, and I wore my costume and was like so excited. And I was with my husband and two friends that like aren't really Shania fans. And so like I would stand up and I'd be so excited. And then there was like 6 rows behind me just seated. And I was like, well, now I'm an asshole. Like, so I would sit down and then I would get up and I'd be excited about the song. And then I'd be like, bring it down, Kelty. Like, you know what? If you want to sit down at a concert, go to the Royal Albert Hall.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't go to Vegas.
And don't even, if you're not interested in the artist in Vegas, don't even go to the show. Like, because it's just like a weird crowd. I think there's too many people just sort of stumble in a Vegas show. And when it's someone like Shania or Celine Dion or someone who people love, it's almost insulting to me that people are there and they don't like the music or the artist.
Yeah.
You would think if it's in Vegas, it would just be people that were drunk anyways.
Well, you know, it's people that are tired. Vegas is a very tiring, exhausting place. There were parts in the Shania Twain concert where I was like, my feet do hurt. I would like to sit. Okay, Danny, go ahead. Good week, bad week. I know your good week is going to be your freaking baby is born into the world today, but
oh yeah, my book is out. That's not my good week, but it's sort of a good week. I hope everyone goes and buys it. But also there's a show called Abbott Elementary, which I feel like I can't stop talking about. I just want people to watch it. I think it's brilliant. It's on ABC and it gives me everything. And so although that's not completely personal to me, it is personal to me because I think it's a fantastic show about teachers, really funny, fantastic. Now my bad week, I do have something that I really have to get off my chest.
Oh, good.
So I have a friend who, my friend, she was telling me, she's like, you need to start wearing more colors. Cause I tend to always go for like black or navy blue when it comes to clothes. So recently I went to Nordstrom's, I got a bunch of clothes, and I wore out of Nordstrom's one of the outfits I was buying, and it was like these khaki pants. I had purchased all these t-shirts that I could wear underneath like button down. So I got like orange and yellow, and I got a bright red. And so with a button down, I leave Nordstrom's and I go about my day, and I'm having a very meditative experience going to Target. But as you know, lately in Los Angeles, we've had sort of weird weather. It's been cold one minute, hot the next. So I take off my button down and I go into Target, and that's my relaxing time. I'm chilling. And so I'm browsing the aisles. And at one point, somebody came up to me and asked me if I could help her get a yogurt and I'm tall. People ask me that all the time. So I went and got the yogurt for her, reached for it, gave it to her. Then I go down the other aisle and somebody asked me where the Head and Shoulders shampoo is.
Wait.
And I'm like,
oh my God.
And it just keeps, I'm having my shopping trip at Target. And then I look down and I realize like I'm dressed like a Target employee. So people thought that I was a Target employee, which no shade to Target employees, but I was wearing a red t-shirt and khaki pants, which I never wear. I never in my life wear like a bright red. It's just not me, but my friend convinced me. And so they put me to work at the Target, and I left that shopping trip. I didn't feel relaxed like I normally do leaving a Target. I felt like I just came off a 8-hour shift.
Did you get the employee discount at least?
I got no discount, but literally it was like aisle after aisle. People are coming up and asking me things. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what do they want me to reach for this for or whatever? So I just want to encourage everyone to be careful and also treat the Target employees right, because it was exhausting, ladies.
God, yeah.
The idea of like people pulling you in 100 different directions, like get this, where's that, do this. I was like, they get this all day long. Like I was just there for a meditative shopping trip. Right? I go to Target, I go to Home Goods when I want to relax. And it was like, they can put me to work and I was exhausted. So,
I'm glad to see you're back in a dismal kind of brown color where you belong.
I got home and I threw that red shirt away. I was like, never again am I going to wear this.
It was a sign. It's like, you know what? I'm not a color person.
No.
I'm just just regular drab colors for clothes is where you live. You look great in a brown. I don't think your personality shines, you know?
Thank you. But I'm not even, this is a lot of color for me. You know, like I just gravitate towards more like I gravitate towards just a black plain t-shirt or whatever. Or I'm the kind of person who, if I find a shirt I like, I'll buy like 10 in the same color. So I have them like a uniform.
Yeah.
It's very smart. Highly successful people do that.
Steve Jobsy of you. Yeah.
When we get back, we're going to get into everything iconic with Danny.
Today's episode of LadyGang is brought to you by Chime. So kick off 2022 with a better checking account with no monthly fees. How good does that sound? Chime, an award-winning app and debit card, has no overdraft fees, foreign transaction fees, monthly fees, or service fees. And with over 60,000 fee-free in-network ATMs at many locations like most Walgreens, 7-Eleven, CVS, and more, you can access your money when you need it, where you need it. You can also send money to anyone, even if they aren't on Chime, which is great. Fee-free for you and no cash-out fees for them. So make your first good decision with the new year and join over 10 million people using Chime. Sign up takes only 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/lady. That's chime.com/lady. Banking services provided by and debit card issued by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank, NA members FDIC. Get fee-free transactions at any MoneyPass ATM in a 7-Eleven location and at any Allpoint or Visa Plus Alliance ATM. Otherwise, out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply. Sometimes pay anyone instant transfers can be delayed. The recipient must use a valid debit card or be a Chime member to claim funds.
I just went to Disneyland this week and I wore my brand new lace-up Rothy's and my feet did not hurt at all. And then I stepped in Carmela's Mickey Mouse chocolate covered ice cream when it melted and I got chocolate all over them. And what did I do when I got home? I threw them in the laundry machine. And when they came out, they were sparkly and brand new again. Disneyland, guck, be gone. I love these sneakers so much. I wear them all the time. They have flats, sneakers, loafers, ankle boots, and more. They are so good for the planet. They've repurposed millions of water bottles into their signature thread. And you can get a new pair of Rothy's this year. New customers get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/LadyGang. That's Rothy's, ROTHYS.com/LadyGang. Rothys.com/LadyGang. Go pick up a pair of the white lace-ups. Me and Chris both have them. They're just so freaking cute.
Today's episode of Lady Gang is brought to you by Daily Harvest. So this year, I've decided that I want to implement little changes in my life that are going to be just nicer to my body. Nothing crazy. I want to walk 6,000 steps a day. I want to get more fruits and veggies into my diet. And it's so easy to do that with our sponsor, Daily Harvest. So Daily Harvest delivers delicious harvest bowls, flatbread, smoothies, and more. And they're all built on organic fruits and vegetables right to your door, and it conveniently stays fresh in your freezer. This is great for me because I'm always on the go. My schedule's crazy, so they stay fresh until I'm ready to eat them. They take literally minutes to prepare, and they never use preservatives, added sugar, or artificial anything. And that goes for everything. And they have so many delicious options for any time of the day: breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, or a snack. So Daily Harvest makes it easy to feel good about what I'm doing for myself and for the planet. Go to dailyharvest.com/lady to get up to $40 off your first box. That's dailyharvest.com/lady for up to $40 off your first box. dailyharvest.com/lady.
Now back to the Lady Gang.
Okay, we're back. I do want to take this moment to tell you, before we move on from your great Target story, that when I was in junior high school, I think I've told you this before, Jack, I'm such a workaholic that my dream was to get a job, but I was too young. So I think I was like in 7th or 8th grade. And on the weekends, I got a Subway polo shirt, like purple Subway shirt that had like, that employees wear. And I used to wear it like as my outfit to like go around town.
So they thought that you were like off your shift.
So people thought that I had a job because like I was just so obsessed with like being useful. That's a in therapy moment.
That is a therapy moment.
Kelty, that is wild.
I know. It's
that
so
is
embarrassing.
so wild.
Okay. So, we have put a book into the world, and so we know, and you have too before, like for other projects and stuff, but this is the memoir. This is the stories. This is the heartbeat. Right. And so you wake up this morning, the book is out. Like, what is your greatest, not to be dark, but like, what is the thing that you're like, I know I put this in my book. I opened my soul about this. I know people are going to judge me. I'm terrified.
There's most of the stories are really funny, and hopefully people have a laugh and all that good stuff. But I do dip into a couple other deeper topics, particularly like my depression and anxiety. And then there's one chapter that deals with grief, specifically about my grandmother dying. And so I feel like most vulnerable about that one because she passed away. My whole family's in Ohio. I had moved to Los Angeles, and she got sick like right when I moved. And so I never saw her in the place of her being sick. And so I missed a lot of that. And then when she passed, I went back for the funeral, but I never sort of properly grieved the whole situation. And I think everyone else in my family got the opportunity to, in a weird way, because they were all with her. Yeah. And her and I were so close that when I started telling this date story in the book that I wasn't expecting, I was thinking it was going to be some silly, bad date story that I had. And when I went and wrote about it, I found that like all of this grief stuff was coming out through this story, which was totally unexpected. But ultimately, I wanted to keep it in because I'm fascinated by grief and how people deal with it, and sort of these expectations of we're supposed to grieve, but only for this amount of time and in this way. And then if you do it for longer, you're weird, or you're not supposed to be still sad about that thing or that person that was such an influential part of your life. There's just so many rules when it comes to grief. So I try not to shy away from that, but that's what I feel sort of most vulnerable about people reading. And the people who have seen it, I'm hearing a lot of people are relating to it in a lot of ways, but I guess that's what I'm most scared about. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay.
It's like those real things. And did you share the book with your family prior to it coming out?
I did shortly before it came out. And so I was really most nervous about my mom. My mom is a more buttoned up person. And so I was nervous about her reading it, but ultimately they all liked it. And my family plays a big role in it because there are some family stories that come up. And so I was very concerned with them reading it, but I didn't want to share it with them while I was writing because I didn't want anyone to like influence, or have me take something out. Did you guys share stuff with people?
Well, I was going to ask this question about, do you have any stories about people that you're scared of them reading? And do you use like pseudonyms, or are you calling people out by their real name? Because we all like had all these stories about, we're like, when that person reads that one, it's going to be a fucking doozy. So
I have one coming out in our next book that I'm pretty sure I'll be murdered over. Like she's coming
Isn't it
for me.
terrifying?
Like a frenemy. And I'm like, woo, you're going to know this about you, girl, and you're going to come rip my hair out.
Yeah.
But did you have to synonym?
I changed names for the most part, other than my family. I couldn't really get around changing their names, but there's a wedding story. I was supposed to be in a wedding, and it was early on in the pandemic, and the bachelorette party got canceled, and someone from the bridal party had reached out to me and asked me to buy a Peloton for the bride and groom as like a sorry that your bachelorette party got canceled. And it was like, right. Right. And obviously I thought it was crazy. And also they had asked me at the worst point, like we're dealing with the early part of the global pandemic. My tour had been canceled. I had lost advertisers on the show, and my boyfriend had lost his job that day, and everyone's ill. It was like a lot was happening. And I had lost all this money because the bachelorette party was canceled due to the pandemic. So I had bought all this dick merch that we were supposed to use at the bachelorette party that I couldn't return.
You'll find a different use.
So it was a perfect storm. And I was like, really? And so I had tweeted about it as it happened. And then I got an email from like the woman's husband or boyfriend and was like, I can't believe you tweeted that. Then the bride called me and it was like this whole thing.
Oh my God.
And I wrote about it in the book, and I was just very nervous for my friend to read it. And I ultimately had to include it because I think a lot of people when it comes to weddings, people are nuts, right? Like
nuts.
Bridal parties are crazy. Excuse my language. And, I think it was ultimately relatable, but I was scared to write that because I didn't want to also offend anyone. And this is like my favorite person ever was the bride on this, on the other end of this. So I don't know if those people who asked about the Peloton and this whole situation will be reading it, but it's in the book, and I'm nervous to like get an email, a ding on my computer that's like from the husband or the boyfriend or the woman who asked about the Peloton. Maybe she's listening right now. I love you and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry I didn't have money at the beginning of the thing to get anyone Peloton.
Wild
That's
ass.
ridiculous.
But
That's
how many weddings have the two of you been in? Bridal parties.
Oh, bridal party. Literally one. And because I made a rule, don't ask me to be in your bridal party. Like I literally have been at best friend's wedding where other people that are not as close friends are in the bridal party. I was like, I don't want to be in your bridal party. I cannot support you in that way.
I'm an asshole. I've only been in one because my friends are now just starting to get married. Like two of my really good friends got married in the last year, but now we're at the age where it's like, we don't have a bridal party, thank God. So I haven't had to endure much of that.
How many have you been in? Like 100?
I've had the unfortunate pleasure of being in like the groomsmen party. My brothers got married, and the, what is it called? Not the groomsmen party. And it's not bridal. No, not the bridesmaids, on the guy's side, on the bachelor side. I've been on the groomsmen side, and then I've also been on the bachelorette side. And the groomsmen side is always so much easier because it's just like, we're going to a strip club, everyone's getting drunk.
Right.
But on
There's
the bridal,
not that many expectations.
No expectations. But on the bridal party side, as a gay man, I'm often asked to be on the bridal party side. And it's like, there's so much more pomp and circumstance, rules and expectations and everything. And so the groomsmen side is always so much easier. It's like, just throw some boobies in the groom's face and he's happy.
That's so true.
It's so true. Okay. I do have other things I want to talk to you about, and we have a special quiz prepared. So I want to make sure I have time for everything. Before we move on to our special quiz, is Jen Shah guilty? Now,
oh my God.
If you listen to Everything Iconic, Danny's podcast, he does a ton of housewife recaps, like special Sunday episodes. Like he lives, breathes, eats Bravo. And, I love this about you. And Jack is not watching Salt Lake, so she doesn't know what you're talking about. But she's planning a wedding. Speaking of weddings, but just give us a little background on the Jen Shah thing for people who are not watching Salt Lake, and then I want to discuss with you if she's guilty.
Yeah, so season 2 of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City just aired. Jen Shah has been alleged to have been in this scheme where it was a telemarketing scheme, and she's going to, I think her court date sometime in March. So I think we're going to get answers soon whether or not she's guilty. They're currently filming season 3 of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I don't know. I think it's interesting. We're going to find out hopefully on the show because they just jumped right into filming after season 2.
They're
so
like,
that
we
they
got to
can
get this. They're filming her. They're filming the whole thing.
They filmed everything. The day, okay, this is what you're missing. The day that the FBI and like the crazy, like high level police got them. They were in the beauty lab parking lot getting ready to go on a girls trip. Jen was like bringing her snacks.
The cameras were there.
The cameras were there. They had to like drop the cameras. And then they were also at Jen Shah's house when they raided the house. And it's actually terrible. It was pretty upsetting. They like had footage of like these guys like breaking her house. Her young sons are there. Like it was like kind of intense, but like, yeah, the whole thing has been filmed top to bottom.
We see Homeland Security show up and they're getting on this bus for this cast trip, and Jen Shah gets a phone call, which seemingly tips her off to leave this filming.
Like, get out, they're coming for you.
So then she leaves, makes up an excuse to leave. Homeland Security comes, and then, she was arrested. But I think it's going to be so fascinating to watch play out. And selfishly, and this is, obviously I want her to be not guilty because I don't want to believe that somebody could do all these horrific things. But also selfishly, I want her to be not guilty because it makes for good TV. And if she has to go away, then I don't know if we'll get as good TV. So on both accounts, I would love her to be not guilty.
Who do you think is more guilty of, because I feel like there's a little bit of a seismicness between the Erica Jane and the Jen Shah, because they're both like, I think fraud adjacent in my mind, allegedly. Like, I don't think Erica Jane knew exactly what was happening, but she knew, like, you're a lawyer, why do we have 6 jets? And then I think with Jen Shah, it's like, I don't think Jen Shah was like in it enough to be like the one. Like, I kind of think the assistant Stu was like maybe the mastermind. I don't think she's in it enough to know that she was frauding like elderly people into like losing their homes. But she was like fraud adjacent enough, allegedly. And so who do you think was like more fraud adjacent?
Oh my God, that's such a tough question. I actually think I'm the opposite of you. I think Jen Shah would be more fraud adjacent. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Because I feel like they're almost flipped, because Jen Shah on the show, we know her husband Sharif. And so we're kind of questioning as viewers, like, how did the husband know? And it's similar, I think, to what Beverly Hills was happening. It's like, did Erica Jane know? Yeah, because what's being investigated is more about her husband. Mm-hmm. So it seems like Jen had more alleged involvement in whatever the crimes were. But still, if it comes out that Erica Jane knew all this stuff, that's also still not great, that she knew what was going on and just sort of
it's crazy.
Enjoy the fruits of that illegal labor.
Okay, before we go in, I know. Well, here's the thing, and this is like, I'm just going to say one more thing about Housewives. Like in OC right now, Noella, like she was married to Sweet James, the lawyer guy or whatever.
Sweet James?
Yes.
That has all the billboards?
Yes.
The billboard guy.
So she's married to
I didn't know he was real.
He's real. And she was married to him. And she was like, just recently on an episode, she was like, I don't know how to fly like on a regular plane. I didn't bring my passport because I didn't know, because she only flies private. And I was like, I'm just letting you know, like a car crash lawyer probably, like if they're being honest in their business, doesn't have a private jet.
No.
That's crazy to me. That is like, that's your dad invented ketchup money.
Yeah.
That's not, I have a couple billboards in LA and I am an ambulance chaser. Like,
but those billboard, that whole thing is kind of sketchy too.
Well, obviously. So anyway.
Well, it's interesting you brought up Orange County, and now we're almost trained as viewers to want all this salacious like legal drama.
Right.
And it's almost like where does it go?
It's like dabbling into the true crime. So it's like you get the reality TV like gossip shit, and then you get like the salacious true crime. It's like the perfect combination of everything.
You could never cast it though. You don't cast Jen Shah thinking she's a fraud. On season 1, you're just like, she's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
but do you think I sort of have this theory that maybe they cast a little bit to that. Like they cast people who are kind of like, they have questions about.
Yeah. They probably look into, because wasn't Jen Shah's husband like a coach or something?
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, well, how do you have all this money? So maybe we do cast and it'll get found out.
I don't, anyway, live your life.
Where do we go from here with the Housewives? Because it's like,
can you just go back to a rent a beauty party? Like, can you, or is that so boring?
There's a Housewives of Miami is airing on Peacock right now. And I find it super refreshing because it's very much old school where there's more petty drama. That's not like, and I almost feel like the only way to go now is to like scale back so much that it's like those early seasons of Jill Zarin and fighting over tennis or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I adore you. When we come back, Danny and I, the 2 king and queen of pop culture, are going to battle royale in a quiz that has been prepared without my knowledge, and Jack is going to host. So Just kidding. We love Olive and June. I love my Olive and June Mani system. You can treat yourself to beautiful nails all year long. Olive and June nail polishes last 7 days and do not chip. And with their Mani system, you can get salon perfect nails at home at an affordable price. And it comes with everything you need. I freaking love their top coat. I love their little brush. I love their remover. I love the colors. I mean, there's just so many amazing pieces, and you can apply your nail polish, fix it up however you want, the colors. We just love it. So getting beautiful salon perfect nails at home is now a dream come true with Olive and June. Your new nail life is here. Visit oliveandjune.com/lady for 20% off your first Mani system. That's Olive, OLIVE and AND, June, JUNE.com/lady for 20% off your first Mani system. I know you're going to love it.
You're listening to the LadyGang.
All right, we're back. So the reason I love Danny, I have so many reasons why I love Danny. I think he's the most refreshing voice in pop culture.
Wait, I need to interrupt you though and say why I love you all so much. And specifically, Kelty, you were texting me when I was telling you about my book. You were texting me with like all these amazing tips, and just you were just the kindest person ever, and just going out of your way to be like, okay, here's what we got to do. You're coming on LadyGang. You're doing that. And it was just so I'm so appreciative, because not only do I love LadyGang and what you're all doing, but the fact that you were so overly kind to reach out to me with all of that stuff and your advice, because you guys had come out with this book already and gone through it. It meant the world to me, and I'm just grateful. So thank you.
Oh, well, here's the thing. Everyone in show business absolutely fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. And it is a literal gut punch every time, because, you work so hard to make the thing. And the regular people of the world don't know how difficult it is to get a book deal when you are not Paris Hilton. It is to build your podcast and to build your pop culture brand and your voice so big to get your own solo book deal that someone's going to invest all this money and this time in you to put it out. And then you think, oh my God, I got the book deal while I won. No. Getting the book out and then having people read it. And then the pressure that is on you as just one human in the world is so high. And there were a few people in our LadyGang circle that were so lovely, and they were sat with us and they're like, okay, you got to make sure that you give love to the indie bookstores, and make sure when you tour that you do that. There's all these tricks and stuff that they use on Oprah, but Oprah's not telling us that that's how they do it. Mm-hmm. And so I always want to be that person. I love an underdog. I love a little guy. And I just want you to succeed because I love what you're doing. But I'm so happy for you. And I'm always happy for that. And I will ask for the favor back at some point.
Oh, please. And you mentioned with book deals, I think a lot of times it gets confusing too. I often have reality TV people on my show or celebrities who have books out, and it is a little bit different. I've been a ghostwriter before for other people, and the way somebody with a large platform like a television show gets a book deal is much different than someone with a podcast or something. And so it is different. And so you do want people, you hope that people get it so that more of us can write books.
Well, what is that saying? It's it takes 10 years to create an overnight success. It's some person might just see this book and be like, oh, must have been so easy
so
for
nice.
him.
He had that podcast and he got that book.
But it's you've been hustling your ass off for so long to get to this moment, and probably all of the ghostwriting that you have done has helped you be able to pitch that to publishers, right? To show you're right. It's this whole process to finally lead you to this moment. And it is something to be so proud of.
And even with publishers, I'm sure you went through this too. It's I had got a lot of people who said you should do a Housewives book. And I was like, no, I think there's an audience for this book. I know my listeners, and you guys know your listeners, but oftentimes with podcasts, it's because maybe you're not part of a big media, NBC Universal or whatever, a big TV franchise or something like that. Then the publishers get a little skeptical, and you're trying to say, no, I see our audience. I see the merch that we sell or whatever it is. I think with podcasting, it's still a fairly new media that it's,
really
people are still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. You know, my friend Jonathan Bennett actually just posted something to me. I posted on my Instagram, but it'll be a couple weeks old when this comes out. But I loved what he wrote me. So I had this new project, this new show I'm working on, finally announced after 2 years.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
so
you.
exciting.
And it's been Jack's been with me along the ride. Like it has been, I can't even get into it. I'll get into it one day when I'm through therapizing it. But he was like, hey, you know, I see you today and like everyone's going to be celebrating you and all the like, whatever, you're going to get all these texts, but like, I'm celebrating all the no's along the way. I'm celebrating for you all the rejection because I know to get this thing out in the world, how many times you cried, how many times you absolutely were rock bottom, how many no's you got. And I just love that thought. And I think it's like a good thing to take into everyone's life, not just like if you're in show business and trying to get a book deal, but it's like, we have to celebrate the big stuff because it's not just celebrating that, oh my God, I'm getting married or, oh my God, like I got the promotion at work. It's like all the shit that you went through to get to that point. It's in honor of that almost.
Yeah. One more thing. And I'm sorry, we're getting so off. I know we were going to do the quiz, but
no, we're going to do it. We're going to do
it. When I was trying to get this book off the ground, I had gotten a ton of no's. I got all these rejections sort of in one swoop because your agent just sends you all of the rejections. And the day that I got them, I was interviewing Andy Cohen on my show. And I was like, I was just devastated. I was so excited to be talking to him, but I was just in a moment where I was like, oh man, I felt so discouraged. And he had told me like, all it takes is one yes. And it was like that little push I needed to kind of keep going and work on the proposal a little bit more and keep fighting for this project that I believed in. And I think that's an important lesson too, of like, you have to believe in something more than anyone else. And whatever that project is or whatever it is that you believe in, like you have to be the one to fight for it. And it only takes one yes. And sometimes you don't even need an outside yes. Sometimes you can make it happen on your own, but yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay. We're ready. We're going to do this quiz now.
Let's do it.
I'm so excited. It's like the pop culture quiz of a lifetime.
What's the 411?
What's the 411? Okay. So Danny, this is how it's going to work. We're going to shout out the answers and whoever shouts it out first gets the point.
Okay.
Question 1. What movie made the saying as if famous?
Oh, Clueless.
Kelty.
Okay. I feel like there's a delay on my end. I thought I got that.
Well, yeah, that's true.
that actually might be true.
That's probably true.
What stuffed animal trend debuted in 1993?
Beanie Baby. No, wait, you said 93?
Yep, and you're correct.
Oh, okay. I thought it was later. There's a great Beanie Baby documentary on HBO Max. Everyone watch it.
There is?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
About what, like people who collect them?
Like the culture, the crazy culture around what year was it? I feel like it was 97 was when it was really crazy.
Well, it probably took a while for it to catch on. I still have like 500 up in my attic.
You know,
$0.
We did press boxes for the book and there's Beanie Babies in them, in the press boxes. And it was so funny to try to find them to put in those boxes.
Like the old school ones, like not the new ones with like the massive eyes.
The old school ones, like we should try to find ones with tags on them that, weren't used or anything. It was a treat.
Maybe mine are worth money. Okay.
Live your life.
Question 3. What was considered the first reality TV show?
Real World?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Point Danny.
There was something called The Family on PBS. I think it was called The Family.
Was Real World pre-Osbournes or was Osbourne? I was going to say Osbourne.
The Osbournes I feel like were like in the 2000s.
Yeah, Real World was 90s.
Oh yeah. No, I think that there was a show that they based it off of, right?
Yeah, there was a PBS documentary. I don't remember. I think it was The Family, or maybe it was the last name of the family, but it was considered sort of the first. I don't think it was a TV show. It was like a limited series or something. And then The Real World, I think, kind of derived from that, I believe.
Great. I want to find out what that was. Okay. Next question. What year did Sex and the City premiere?
98?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Okay.
Love my girls. Love the sound.
What were the most popular bracelets called during the 90s?
Oh,
Snap bracelets. Snap.
Slap. Point, Kelty. Jennifer Aniston inspired which popular 90s hairstyle?
The Rachel.
Yes.
I mean, I kind of have the Rachel now. I accidentally got bangs during my 40th birthday.
No, I like it. I like it, Kelty.
Like this is a greasy part that just sticks out from my head now. Okay.
What 90s group is the second best-selling group after the Spice Girls?
Backstreet Boys?
Girl group.
Oh, girl group. Okay.
Destiny's Child?
Nope.
TLC?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like, what's a girl group? Well, Danny's crushing me.
Last
Crazy,
question.
sexy, cool.
I know, I miss them.
Like, how many times were you like a kid? Well, Danny, I honestly, I don't know you well enough to know, but, and you were like in your pajamas, but they were like, had like ponies on it, but you were trying to be like in that, she's too young, but like in that crazy
I did that.
cool video.
No, I know. Yeah.
And you like opened it in the mirror and you're like, yeah, but like yours were like flannel and like from Walmart. Anyway, that's your life.
My joke is that I was always less crazy, sexy, cool, and more cozy, frumpy, and warm when I was trying to look like a TLC.
That's who I want to be in
like
my
a
life.
T-shirt in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a t-shirt
I
in
know.
that.
Last question is, what band sang the song Closing Time?
Semisonic.
Yes. Wow.
I
I
couldn't
didn't
remember
think
that
anybody
one.
would get
All
that.
right. Final tally, Jack.
Danny is the winner with 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 points to 3.
Wow.
I feel
Danny.
good. I'm going to take that with me today. Give me the boost. The boost I needed.
Congratulations.
You really did. Danny Pellegrino is at Danny Pellegrino, obviously. Follow him on Instagram and everywhere else, Twitter, maybe if you're verified. His podcast is called Everything Iconic, and it comes out on Wednesdays, but there's also sometimes Sunday episodes. Like,
It's Wednesday, twice a week. It's Wednesdays and Sundays.
Okay,
twice,
that's it.
Yeah.
And it is today, March 8th. His book, How Do I Unremember This, is out right now. If you need a nice spring read that has a little bit of heart, but a lot of funny, head on over there. Let's support this indie author and help him, live his dream.
Buy the book. You can get it from an independent bookstore if you want to support your local bookseller, or you can order it from Amazon or wherever you get your books. There's an audiobook I read. You can do that way, but whatever you want.
The audiobook is probably so good.
I bet it's so
get it. It'll be a good time. Won't it be a good time? Just get it, read it, enjoy it.
Love it. Well, congratulations. We're so proud of you.
We're so
Thank
happy,
you.
Sarah, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening. The Lady Gang is produced by Alex Ingber, Steve Delameter, and Jared Monaco. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. And if you love it, share it with your friends on social media. Like, oh my God, I just listened to Lady Gang. This episode's so great. Swipe up to listen. And if you really want to, which we know you do, please follow us on social. At Kelty, at Becca, at Jack Vanek, and at The Lady Gang. Sign up for our newsletter at theladygang.com and join our secret Facebook group. It's super fun. See you next Tuesday.